Welcome back to Bets in Bed, the best betting show on the internet. I'm just going to go ahead and make that our coin phrase. So, best betting show on the internet. We are the fight.
According to Bovada, 5 times everywhere that you place bets.
Yep, we're the Fight Me Bros, Matt and Nick. And don't look now, but after going incredibly cold, I found my heat again, and I am red hot fire. 4-0 last week. Our first perfect week goes to me, so congrats to me. Nick did the exact opposite, right?
No, I got one. I got the lock right.
Oh, so he got his lock right.
That's all that matters.
Salvaged a little bit.
I'm like saving ship with the lock.
Yep, but this week we actually have a decent amount of action with a pretty decent card.
Way too much action for how average this card is.
Yes.
For me, at least. That's how I felt. But then as I was going through it, I just kept adding bets. And then I figured I've had a couple light weeks in a row where I think I've only had 3. And then prior to, outside of the John Jones, that one I had way too many bets. But canceled, we forgot that even happened. So canceled that out, and I've had like 2 and 3 bets. So this week I was like, after I got to the end of the card, normally I pare it down a bit. I just left it all.
You're like, nah, we're ramping
I just left it all this week. Going into March Madness, baby. It's
exactly, might as well start early.
Get
the
mad.
real March Madness, as everyone said.
Right, yeah.
UFC.
Right.
All right, so I got 4 fights I want to bet on. Nick has 5, so I'm going to let him go first.
All right, first on the card is actually second on the card. Sorry, I think this is second. But Molly McCann versus Priscilla Cachoeira. Here's some hot analysis for you guys. Priscilla, you don't recover from a beating that Priscilla Cachoeira took against Valentina Shevchenko.
Yeah.
I'm going Molly McCann at minus 200. Priscilla Cachoeira is just not good.
Yeah, no.
Confirmed bad at fighting. Like, that's as hot and in-depth of an analysis as you're going to get on the internet.
But everyone's going to try to justify it because, like, oh, well, she won again. It's hard to look good against Valentina Shevchenko. It's like, yes, but if, like, you're bad, you're going to get just as
bad.
Yeah, you're going to get
I don't expect McCann to dominate by any stretch of the imagination, but helps. Hometown always helps. Big hometown betting guy. And I think probably it's a comfortable decision win. So even though it's minus 200, probably a little steep, realistically speaking, but I think you're just going to look back in like 3 years and be like, when Priscilla Cachoeira gets cut, it's just going to be like, oh, yeah, no, that makes sense. Like, her career was in free fall since she got the life beat out, like her soul beaten out of her by Valentina.
You could directly spot where the trajectory of her career went down.
Exactly.
All right. I don't hate that. I almost took her for the same reasoning, too. Like, as soon as I saw the name, I was like, I got to look into this. Okay, my first bet comes on pretty early in the card. Really the only action I have earlier on in the card. It's going to come into Mike Grundy and the Narimani fight. So first when I saw Narimani, I'm like, oh, dude. Like, the fact that England is producing a guy that actually can wrestle and kickbox, I'm like, this guy's going to for sure win. Because I saw he was going against another guy from England. Guy's probably going to suck at grappling. Looked up what Grundy had to do. Fucking, like, former, like, world-class wrestler, like, taking, like, 3rd at Worlds and shit. He's an absolute monster of a wrestler. And, I mean...
see that out of the UK often.
I know, exactly. So I'm like, I literally just saw Grundy, didn't know anything about him. Like, oh, it's UFC debut. Like, all right, let me just make sure this guy doesn't have any sort of competence with wrestling, because that's obviously going to be where their strengths. And I looked, and all I saw, and I'm not going to lie, this is a product of YouTube highlights. I literally saw the wrestling highlight followed by his like MMA highlight, and I thought, hey, in an age where wrestling wins, look at Ben Askren, look at Kamaru Usman. I'm going with the better wrestler here. I'm taking Mike Grundy at plus 110. And I know this. People had the same reaction as me because if you looked at the betting line, I think he was plus 200 at one point. And in the past week, it's dropped all the way down.
There's been a ton of line movement.
Yeah,
like all across this.
It's these damn YouTube videos, man. You get a hold of them, and you have to bet it.
Okay, I stayed far away from that. Yeah. This one, I swear. Stay tuned, folks. Daily double time. Like, I need
unsuccessful.
I know. I haven't had one yet. Feel good about it this week. John Phillips and Jack, or is it Jack Marshman?
Marshman.
Yeah, and Jack Marshman. Take them both by TKO. Phillips is plus 215 and Marshman's plus 280. There's somebody's getting knocked out in this
for
fight.
sure.
There's no chance. Marshman missed weight by like 5 pounds, so he's got I don't know if he missed by 5 pounds, but he was 5. He was over. All right, he was heavy. No cardio, so if it goes late, he's not going to last. they might as well just put boxing gloves on.
Yeah.
Neither of these guys have any skills that are not throwing heavy punches. Neither of these guys really have all that great of a chin.
Yeah.
Somebody will be on. I think the under is like minus 160 for 1.5 rounds. I mean, just this is it. This is where we get a daily double on the board. One of these two things is hitting, and you take home the loose change at the end. There's no way that this goes wrong.
Overseas always means no fucking grappling, and that's exactly what this fight is going to be. Just no grappling. They're already throwing haymakers. Don't hate that bet. I wonder what's the line for just finishes inside the distance. Did you look at that?
I
just get it spicy. Go back.
I just wanted by KO. Yeah.
All right, not bad. Plus, it'll help me because I know at the very best it'll only keep your record at even.
Yeah.
All right. So for my next bet.
No, what do you mean even? If one of them wins, you're up.
But I'm saying you go 1-1.
I know. Oh, you mean the record?
Record-wise.
No, I thought monetarily.
Yeah, no.
I was like, no, you're not doing that.
No,
yeah, record-wise, it stays 1.
Mm-hmm, exactly. And that's all I really care about because then mine will look better. So for my next fight, I'm going all the way up to is this the co-main? Ozdemir Reyes?
No. Gunnar Nelson's a co-main.
Oh fuck, that's right. I feel like Ozdemir would have made it, and Reyes is up and coming. I feel like this. Volkan Ozdemir, Dominic Reyes has like UFC Austin written all over it, like as a headliner. Something that just no one cares about.
I was gonna how did this not get the headlining bill over Jan Blachowicz the other week?
Yeah,
that's true. That's what this belongs on.
True, and quite frankly, I'm going against my heart here in this fight. I think Dominic Reyes is the better fighter and should win. But at plus 210. Ozdemir, that's kind of disrespectful for him. He's finished the people.
I was wondering if so, because I don't have it on my card, but I was like, I wonder if he's going to take the bait there.
Yeah, like he's finished some people. He had, and this is the part.
Ozdemir's not good at fighting at all.
This is going to be the part that's going to bite me in the ass. I'm like, he had a goddamn title shot, okay? He had a title shot. He's 2-1 underdog.
Washed
he got washed, but a lot of people have been washed by DC before. And I just think Dominic Reyes' fighting style, it could get into an ugly fight, and that's where Ozdemir does best, where he just clips someone like miraculously, and the guy goes down. I'm betting against my heart here, going Ozdemir plus 210.
I will say what you have going for you is that just light heavyweight is trash.
Yeah, exactly.
So at any point in time, that's why people keep betting on John Vianti. At any point in time, just when you think John Vianti is all right, throw him out. He could KO somebody. That's what could happen.
And 2-1 underdogs.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Just this guy has no business winning this fight. Mm-hmm. But he'll win because we want to just keep recycling Alexander Gustafsson versus John Jones for the 9 millionth time, is what everyone's true. Okay. So that's good. This one I have a tough time, actually. I had a tough time pulling the trigger on this one. So we're going to go into the Claudio Silva versus Danny Roberts fight. I'm actually going Claudio Silva. I want to bet on Danny Roberts because it's hard to bet against a nickname like Hot Chocolate.
Yeah.
Yeah. True. So tough, but this is one where you got to bet with the head, not bet with the heart. And I really think
never my strategy.
Yeah. So I that's what I was saying though. Once again, I look at the board. I'm like, oh Jesus, I'm not taking any of these off my card. So I figure we might as well make a couple smart decisions, right? I just, as much as I think Roberts is really going to kind of piece him up a little bit, but I think this is one of those it's not quite at the drasticness of a Damian Maia one takedown, but I think 1 or 2 takedowns, and this is. Silva's gonna kind of put a wrap on this. You got side with the better, superior grappler in this scenario. I think the gap is a little too big for a nickname like Hot Chocolate to overcome.
And that's always so hard to bet against the names you like. Like that. Also, the reason why I went back and bet against Narimani. Narimani's nickname is Smiley. Get the fuck out of here with Smiley. You never bet on a Smiley.
Yeah, look at Sam Alvey's career.
Yeah, exactly.
Fuck out of here.
All right, so then I have my next fight. Last one I have before my lock of the week comes in the co-main, Leon Edwards versus Gunnar Nelson. This one I like you just did, betting against your heart. I love Gunnar Nelson, especially going and training in Milner, seeing him there, training in a full-on singlet. So whatever video just came out with him just air humping the hell out of the gym.
The Call On Me video is
the Call On Me video is very accurate. That's pretty much how they handle all their training sessions. Love Gunnar Nelson, but I just don't think he's going to be able to grappling fuck Leon Edwards. And I think Edwards is a little too athletic on the feet for Gunnar Nelson. Like, Gunnar Nelson hasn't had the best stand-up game, I wouldn't say.
No,
like, he's not, like, on his feet,
he's
outside
had,
of grappling.
Isolated one shots that fill his highlight reel up.
Yeah.
That I think have tricked people into thinking
he's got like good,
unreal
power.
Not even like unreal power, but people think his stand-up is far more competent than it is because he's got a couple highlights of him trying. He's like, oh, well, look, he dropped Alan Joban or whoever, and it, like they'll like whatever it is, but it's like, oh, well, he cracked so and so, like he can really throw, and I think that has kind of tricked people into thinking that Gunnar Nelson actually has.
Exactly, it's kind of made it like a self-fulfilling prophecy, like because everyone has been like looking at his reel of him like dropping people, they're like giving a little bit too much respect. But I just feel like the way Leon Edwards fights, he can be too aggressive, and if this becomes ugly, Gunnar Nelson just doesn't. I feel like if he's not dominating, he doesn't win an ugly fight.
Yeah.
Like, he wins an ugly fight against Cowboy Oliveira when he's fucking gouging his eyeballs out. But, unfortunately, and, I don't hate... I like Leon Edwards, too, but personally, I love Gunnar Nelson, so it pains you here, but I'm going with Leon Edwards, and that's at minus 145.
In light of everything I just said, I actually am going with Gunnar Nelson to even out betting on your take the one prior, betting with the head and not the heart. I got to even it out and bet with the heart and not the head. Yeah. I like Leon Edwards for pretty much every same reason, and I just think that Leon Edwards has probably the tools to keep exactly what you just said from happening, which is Gunnar Nelson like rolling downhill.
Yeah.
Once he's going downhill and he's kind of got the top grappling game going, hard to stop. I don't know how he's gonna do it, but like you don't bet against the guy doing call on me. Like you don't put that video out of you in a singlet with some aggressive air fucking.
Yeah.
Unless you are damn sure that you're gonna win the fight.
Yeah.
So I am taking Gunnar Nelson at plus 120. I'm not really sure how he's gonna get it done. I really don't know. Probably a close decision. Don't necessarily see a finish happening, but you don't bet against a guy air fucking to call on me in a singlet. And I hope that he comes and walks out in a singlet. And if he does that, then I'll double my bet.
I'm going to reach out to my bookie and let them know if he comes out in a singlet, bet is canceled. It is. In fact,
and comes out to call on me too.
If he comes out to call on me,
that would be incredible. Like, I don't want to say it's not a heel turn, but like character turn of stoicism to leaning right into the video that he put out. That would be absolutely incredible. I feel like we have the same lock too now.
Did you go through all your fights already?
That's it. That's my last one.
All right. I was saying, should we go? I was like, who goes first?
I think we have the same one. Do we both have Nathaniel Wood?
No.
Oh.
Fuck. Well, you go yours then. No, that's not mine.
I thought that we had the same one. Okay. So I got Nathaniel Wood, my super steep line. And this is a hot take, as he's minus 250. Pretty sure the biggest favorite on the card. So, pussy move, having that as your lock of the week.
I've done that move a few times. In desperation, I pulled that move.
I mean, I'm not even in desperation, but when I was looking at things that I just am... Like, when I look at locks, like we said, we both have pretty pristine lock records.
Yeah.
I look at things that I'm like, that guy's going to win. Mm-hmm. And I feel very good about that guy winning. A lot of these other fights, outside Molly McCann, I debated that, but that's still minus 200. Yeah. There weren't a lot of close line ones. Because I think the Silva hot chocolate fight was the next closest one that I was like, I'm pretty sure Silva could get this to the ground and maybe finagle something here. But you just look at this Nathaniel Wood fight. It's got everything set up for home. Like, this is a showcase in London for him. I mean, the only thing outside of him dominating this fight that would be more of just like, we did this for you, England, would be Darren Till, like, putting the lights out on Jorge Masvidal. But it just, I think that he has one thing that after I went back and watched some more Wood stuff, he always has like a +1 strike, I guess. Mm-hmm. So it's like he'll throw a right hand, the other guy will combo, but then he's ready with 2 or 3 more. Like, he's never just throwing like jab. All right, that's it. Like, it'll be like jab, even if there's like a 1/1000 delay, throws another kick. Mm-hmm. Love that. I think Quinones' best offense is really just pressure. He's like Clay Guida kind of, but maybe not the wrestling and stuff. But he's just like cardio. Like, I'm just gonna out cardio you basically.
Yeah.
Fighting, not so great. I'm gonna out cardio though. I think Wood has got enough cardio to kind of weather that storm. Like, I don't think that's really going to be a problem for him, and I think that he's probably going to get like a late finish. He's also underrated grappling, I would say. Maybe not. I don't want to say he's not like this dude that is winning world titles or anything.
Yeah, no.
But I mean, this is set up for a showcase. Like, he's the number one biggest favorite for a reason. His DraftKings price is through the roof for a reason. Him inside the distance line is a favorite for a reason. I mean, like, this we're gassing this guy up here. That's lock of the week.
Yeah, you might have me. I mean, you've convinced me enough to at least bet on this night of. And I do get the vibe that this is going to be like a hometown hero card. Like a lot of
England's gonna see.
Yeah,
W.
they always try to make it this way, but I always feel like it doesn't work out that well.
And then as time's gone on, they just lessen and lessen the competition.
Exactly.
They have to fight to be like, come on, damn it!
Exactly. No, well, I'm surprised with you describing like close line matches. My block comes in Tom Breeze versus Ian Heinisch. One, because I like Tom Breeze a lot here, and two, because fuck you, Ian Heinisch. I'm still bitter about my lock of the week. Cesar Ferreira versus Ian Heinisch. I locked of the week when we were in Thailand, and then he I think I doubled down. I took him inside the distance and full. Heinisch was dancing. I was gonna say Dancing with the Stars.
I was just about to say, I don't think that was on
Dancing with Dana White's Contender Series winner. He knocked the guy out in 10 seconds, and then was fighting Cesar Ferreira on a 2 weeks notice, and then went out there for a 2-time state champ wrestler. He was getting taken out pretty easily by Cesar Ferreira, but then somehow snuck out a win by dropping him strategic, at the end of the second round, dropped him, and then barely snuck out a win. I don't know. I was super pissed. I'm very vividly upset about this, so I'm not letting him fuck over another lock of the... I'm giving him the opportunity to fuck over another lock of the week, but it's just not going to happen. Tom Breeze is he is a striker, but people also forget he's competing in EBI too. He's a high key fucking.
I think he's primarily a grappler, admittedly.
Yeah, no, but
he might be backwards on that.
No, I think in UFC, I think where his strength is being a striker.
I don't know, man. He drops to leg locks all the time. I feel
I think
you
it's
don't
a part
drop to leg locks unless
Well, I think it's a big part of his game, but I think where he's considered most of a threat, or I think he's most of a threat, is on the feet with his boxing. He's super savvy on his feet, and plus Heinisch, he's a wrestler, but his jiu-jitsu looked very much in his fight with Cesar Ferreira. He just tried a straight arm bar, he tried a Kimura, and he tried a triangle. It basically was jiu-jitsu 101, but he's I'm just gonna try it very, very hard, and then just get out of the position.
Flex and bust out.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it's not gonna be anywhere near Tom Breeze. I just don't see how Heinisch would other than maybe taking him down and not allowing Breeze to do anything from the bottom. But like you said, Breeze is a known very good grappler. I'm taking this for 2 units on record, so double my double down for my block of the week. So 4 units, yeah.
That's a monster play.
I know. And
if Ian Heinisch wins this fight,
then
suicide watch.
Then next fight, because the thing is, the first time I doubled down, so this time I have to quadruple down, and then if he beats me again, I gotta go
8, whatever that is, 10.
My mind immediately went to John and Kate plus 8, and I thought they maybe
down, which is in Espanol.
Say Senza down. We're gonna go with that. We're gonna say Senza down it next time.
That's hey, good luck.
And plus, Tom Breeze, we saw him once training at Millionaire. So there's that.
Hey, and on that note,
take it easy,
and
guys.
on that note, that's Bets and Bet.
Peace.